I'm Yaz.
Kieran?
Yeah, so today we thought we'd talk a little bit about pets, seeing as I've got 3 dogs and a cat. As you can see, this is 2 of my dogs. We've got Lotus, a collie. I'm not sure if she's even on the screen right now. And we've got Loki,
The big boy.
Yep, a big dog who's just taken the ball back to his lair. He's the most recent addition to the family. He's from Cyprus and he's a pointer hound cross. And yeah, he's fucking terrified of men. So we're working on that. But other than that, he's a brilliant boy. And then I've got my absolute golden girl who will probably struggle to get on the video because she loves a bed.
Suki!
Yeah, Suki. She was a stray that I found when we were both at uni.
So we're both at uni, weren't we? Oh, come here, Suki. Let's try and get you up for the story. By her armpits. It's like a little donut.
She was thinking, why have you put me here when I've got a nice, clean, comfy bed there?
So they can see you.
Yeah, you might just be able to hear it all video because that's what Suki likes to do.
Like hop and paw.
Yeah, she makes a lot of noise when she breathes, doesn't she, when she's having a fuss, so...
And then you get jealous, don't you, Lotus?
Yeah.
But no, right, so we're both There's Howl the cast.
Yeah.
But no, so we're at uni, weren't we? So how did you come across Suki then? What would you say was... Why were you at the train station in the first place, really?
Yeah, so basically, I'd been to... I don't know if anybody knows the Front Bottoms, but they're a sick band. No, it was actually Nottingham at Rock City.
Okay.
So, I'd been... I'm going to have to take this off you because you're not going to stop. Drop, Loki. Drop. No. Drop.
Trying to multitask with dogs.
Loki, drop.
Now Lotus thinks it's a game.
Hey, drop. Drop. Thank you. Gone. All gone. But yeah, so I'd gone to see the Front Bottoms in Nottingham. Obviously, we were living in Derby at the time.
Yeah. Got
the train back, and on the walk back, she was like near there. So people were like, "Who's this dog? Who's this dog?" And it's no one's dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, so brought her home, brought her in our gaff dinner. And we did take her Did you come with me to the vets?
I didn't come to the vets. No, I was just in the house.
No, it must have been my ex, but took her to the vets. No microchip. She was only about 3 months old at the time, and she had she was like a brownie colour at first, wasn't she, with like all oil all over her stomach.
Yeah, she was so dangly in that as well. I remember when we I think you gave her a bath first, wasn't it?
Yeah, because she was filthy, and then we found out she was ginger as well from that bath.
Yeah, because she looked like just brown.
Yeah. And so reported it to the dog warden and stuff, and after 2 weeks nobody had come forward, which you would have thought they would have with like a 3-month-old puppy. So they asked me if I wanted to keep her or if I wanted them to take her off my hands, and I was obviously like, no, I'm keeping her. I already named her and stuff by that point, hadn't I? So yeah, and she's just been a perfect dog ever since. I think the only flaw she has, which she's grown out of now, was she used to be car sick as a pup, and also
she used to wee herself when she met strangers.
Yeah. She used to wee herself, and sometimes if she felt guilty and you came home and you didn't know she'd done anything, and you stroked her, she'd piss herself. So you know that she's done something naughty then, because she's just pissed herself when you've touched her. So yeah, and that's the story of how I got Suki, really.
But Suki's the best dog ever, and she's like, swear she's resistant to whatever heat, because remember when we first got her after you gave her a bath, and then we put her in the downstairs bedroom, and then she was literally back touching the radiator, scolding out. It's like, what the hell? How?
Yeah, and when I lived in Nottingham for a bit, my partner at the time, he had like a metal manhole cover in the garden. Yeah. And it used to get red hot in the summer because obviously it just attracted all the heat from the sun. But she used to lie on that, and she used to sunburn all the belly. You used to have to put like sun cream on her stomach so that she didn't burn. Because how she's pink now, it would just go brown. Like she used to tan better than most humans, to be honest.
Yeah. But I remember when she stole my chicken once when I was in my bedroom. I was gone for literally, 2 minutes. Go upstairs, chill, watch TV and that. Come back down and there's Suki going... Like, still at the crime scene.
Yeah. Boiling hot chicken fresh out of the oven.
It's like when you eat it and go... Flap, 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 flap.
Yeah. It's like, just try and swallow it as quick as she can so she can't get caught out.
Yeah.
But it was the obstacle course to get on there from a puppy, because she literally must have like climbed onto your
on
chair.
The office chair with wheels.
And then onto your desk.
Yeah. Too cheeky.
Yeah.
But she has the best dog. I feel like you can just take her anywhere and she's like just settles in place.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't really have like any dogs, but if there was one dog that I'd keep, it'd be this one. So when technology gets better, I'll clone Suki. Yeah.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
Always carry your hair in my pockets.
Just in your clothes, because she's also the dog that molts the most.
Oh, I've been dusting myself like since I've got here. She's coming into a new coat. That's what I was saying earlier. I need to get like what was I saying? The lint roller. Just need
on it. Just get on it.
So
I do hoover them sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So you know how you get like a brush attachment with like a Dyson or that sort of style, like upright hoover.
Yeah.
I suppose you could do it with a Henry or something, but I don't think it comes with the attachments. But the brush bit, yeah, it'd be a bit harsh, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, just literally just put the brush attachments on, just brush the fur, and it sucks all the hairs up, and they quite like it because it gives them a bit of a massage at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's extra hairy because they've had a bath, because I bath them every 4 weeks. Every second weekend of the month is bath day for all the animals.
Yeah.
Which is a funny one because some people don't bath the dogs, which I think is gross because they get absolutely covered in mud. Loads of people stroke your dog. You go on the street, strangers touch your dog. You don't know if that stranger's just had a shit and then been touching your dog's head.
And then you get that whole, like, every time you touch your dog, you get like your hands like shiny. Why would you want that? I think that's so
and
gross.
Some dogs are greasy, aren't they? Because they don't get bathed. So when you feel them, you have like this, like you can roll the grease off your hand, like dandruff almost.
Yeah, or like when you rub your hands dead fast if you've been like outside all day, if you've been touching handles or whatever, and you get like a little thing.
Yeah. So I don't like that, but I think people mainly think I'm a bit bonkers because of bathing the cat, because people say you don't need to bath a cat, but I beg to differ, because you should see the dirt that comes off him. He might look clean and feel soft, but it's nothing compared to when he's had a bath. And because they've always been bathed since they were young, they're used to it and they're absolutely fine and they enjoy it. So yeah, I think more people should bath their pets, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's like cows. Have you seen how with cows, when they're all washed, they go all like fluffy?
Yeah.
So it's like, they don't have to, I suppose, in the wild, but better off, isn't it?
Yeah. We didn't when we were in the wild.
In the wild, yeah.
So, yeah, but if someone didn't have a bath now, you wouldn't think, traditional.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Oh my god, that's such a good point. Yeah, you wouldn't think traditional, you'd think dirty. Exactly. Yeah. It's progress. It's 21st fucking century.
Yeah.
The 2020s, not the 1920s.
Exactly. Like, technically, the homeless are doing it right by camping out in the woods and not having a bath.
Yeah. Traditional.
Traditional living, yeah.
Traditional living, that is.
Yeah. But yeah, these are all brilliant. Let me bath them. Quite enjoy it. They especially like the towel rubs after, and Lotus Collie, she rubs herself on everything. Even when she's been out in the rain to try and dry herself, rubs herself on everything. It's like one of her favourite things to do is to get dry. Bless her.
Just loves the attention, don't you? So yeah, how'd you come across Lotus then, Yaz?
So Lotus, again, bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
But so me and my ex having a drink in a pub in Nottingham, and along comes Lotus. Well, not just Lotus, she was with her siblings and the mum, and just some guy was there with them on a lead.
Yeah.
And I'm there, I've had a drink, obviously I'm fussing these puppies and fussing the mum. And he was like, oh, you can have one for 100 quid. And then my ex was obviously part together at the time, was like, oh, I'll give you 50. And then he was like, yeah, sounds. So then I'm like, yeah, I'm having the dog. And that's how we ended up with Lotus.
Just randomly in a pub?
Yeah. And then my partner would have liked to probably not have a dog at that point in our lives. Especially with already having Suki. But I knew that by having another dog, her anxiety would be a lot better. Because I don't know if you remember when she was a pup, if there was nobody in the house and she was on her own in the cage, it was slobber, wasn't it? It'd be like 1 inch to 2 inches deep, a cage would, in slobber. I'd constantly have to wash her beds. Even like when she'd be in the car and I pop in a shop or I'm putting fuel in, as soon as I go into the station, unless I'm paying at the pump, she'd just have all these strings of slobber from her anxiety, and she is not a slobbery dog at all. It was just caused by anxiety, but she's never done it since I've had Lotus, so yeah, it's worked pretty well.
Just needed a friend, didn't you, Suki? That's all.
Yeah, and yeah, they get along well and they love each other. They're completely different dogs, completely different personalities.
Well, Suki, you can just chill with it. You can put her anywhere and she just fits in. She's like a little goblin. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And Lotus is brilliant. Amazing to take for walks, but you want so much fuss, don't you, mate? You want so much fuss.
Yeah, she's very much a needy dog, isn't she, in terms of needing your attention. She always wants to throw a stick or a ball or play with something.
But it's built in with her though, isn't it? Some breeds are like... This is like a waking dog, isn't it? A little collie.
Yeah,
and then, sorry, Suki, but isn't she meant to be like a hunting dog, or what would you say?
See, I'm not 100% sure what she is. She's 8.5 now, so she has gone a lot whiter than she used to be, but she used to be really ginger, so I think she was a fox red lab crossed, or a golden retriever, but again, that sort of fox red coloration rather than the sandy blondie type.
Yeah.
And I think she's also crossed with like a lurcher or a whippet, or originally I thought Saluki, which is half the reason she had a name.
Oh, okay.
And I still think it could be Saluki. I mean, she's smaller than any I've met in person, but how her back goes when her heckles are up is exactly what a Saluki's like. It's like a proper triangle pyramid, like all the way down the back.
Yeah.
And I've never known any other dog have heckles like that. It's normally just raised in the middle, but hers is, it's a real triangle, like a real prominent pyramid. And I did think originally, because of how gangly she was, because she was quite tall really, wasn't she, when we first found her.
Yeah.
So I did think she was a ridgeback, which is why I got such a massive cage for her to grow into, I guess.
Yeah.
But when she hit 6 months, she's just stopped at this size and remained the same ever since, apart from growing sideways. Because she used to be a lot skinnier, didn't she? And then now she's a bit of a chunk.
What a chunky boy. Chunky girl.
Yeah.
Look at all this hair. I could make a jumper out of this.
I know. People have done that. I see weird things on the internet. People crocheting the dog hair and stuff into things.
Well, what's bad about that if you think about it?
Nothing. It just seems weird saving them up, I guess. I think that's the bit I don't like, the saving them up. Say you had like a poodle that went to dog groomers, and you had to get it groomed and its fur maintained and it got shaved.
Yeah.
Maybe keeping that wool, like how you'd keep a sheep's wool, but like collecting these barely 1 inch long dog hairs to make something out of, I don't know, man. I couldn't imagine doing that, like gluing them on a piece of paper or something to make art. I don't know.
No, not like that.
Because what can you knit with that? How are you weaving them hairs together?
I think, I don't know, I think you intertwine them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just put them
or
through.
knead them, I think that's a weird.
That thing Rumpelstiltskin had, did he make thread or something?
Silk weaver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bun. Maybe Lotus's hair. His hair's about as long as an eyelash, so yeah, it couldn't be his.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason she's got chonky is because I used to give them something nice on the tea, but then when me and my boyfriend went travelling in summer 2023, Benito's dad had these, and he feeds his dog just human food and pet mints. So obviously they have the same diet. Yeah, and he has like a 50-kilo Japanese Akita, and he was just keeping the portions the same. And obviously these are just going to eat that because it's really tasty food. And then when I came back after the 3.5 weeks, I felt too guilty to put them back on what they were having before. So since then they've just been having, well, not as much human food. They do still have the dog muesli, and they have pet mints, but on every meal. And when Benito's dishing up, he gives them way too much food, again catering for the Akita, not really these. So yeah, that's why these two have put on weight and trying to lose a little bit. Because you should be able to see a bit of rib in a dog, but there's you can feel it, but it's not quite visible. Whereas him, he still needs to gain a bit, but because obviously he was a stray and he was really skinny, but he could afford to put on a few more kilo. I reckon he needs another like 3 kilo and he'll be perfect. Yeah. But he is a foodie, so I don't know. Like, he eats the most, and I don't know how he isn't fat already. But
you're noticing monster shits in your garden then, yes?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, but she does monster shits. It's only her who does proportionate ones.
Proportionate.
Yeah. It's best when you feed them bones, because then the shit's white, so it's not all pleasant to deal with.
Oh, it's not like the good old days when you used to see white dog shit in the town. And now it's all brown and sludgy.
Yeah. But
wasn't that because in like old kibble and stuff there used to be too much bone or something?
Maybe. But they used to give the dogs bones.
Something.
People used to give the dogs bones a lot more, but what happened is people started giving the dogs cooked bones, and obviously when you cook meat and the bone's still on it, it makes everything softer, doesn't it, and more brittle. That's what the cooking process does. So then when the dogs would eat cooked bones, the bones would like splinter and shard and stab them in the throat and stuff and cause lots of injury. So then that's why vets always said, oh, you shouldn't feed your dogs bones, especially chicken bones, because they're the most brittle. Yeah. But what they actually mean is cooked bones, raw bones with, you know, little bits of meat and cartilage still on them is totally fine. It's dead healthy. And obviously they're not going to snap, they're not going to splinter and break because they're dense. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's been carrying the weight of like a sheep or a pig or a cow around.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, a deer. Sometimes you get deer legs with the hooves on. Yeah. These absolutely love them. And deer legs, I would say, are one of the thinnest I've come across raw. Surprisingly, yeah. Yeah, the actual bone is quite thin, like that, like a fat 5 pence to a 1 pence piece. That's the like. Really? Yeah, that's the circumference of a.
Do you ever really get a fat deer?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a fat deer? I don't think I have.
I've only ever seen them abroad and in like Wollerton Park in Nottingham, where they're obviously looked after, and there's a groundskeeper who's making sure they're fed and watered. Yeah. So I don't know. They've always they're just stocky, aren't they? Yeah. Just stocky. Yeah. But yeah, I give these quite a lot of raw stuff. And then like rabbit ears, they're a natural wormer for them as well, to keep them parasites at bay.
At bay.
And then they say there's a bit of a grey area around garlic, because they say that garlic is a deterrent for fleas, but they also say that too much garlic can be toxic for dogs, so it's like, what do you do for the best?
Why would you want to give your dogs garlic anyway? That just makes the breath stink even more.
It's humans, really, that garlic makes the breath stink. When a dog has it, I don't know, it doesn't happen the same. Maybe it's because they don't chew it up the same or something.
I don't know.
But I try not to...
Why have you been giving your dogs garlic?
Not like a clove of garlic, no, but if I got leftover garlic bread or, you know, a bit of bolognese left or something that I've cooked up and it's got garlic in it, then yeah, they have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have, and they're absolutely healthy as anything. I think sometimes people see things are toxic, or could be, you know, they've heard one bad story of someone that someone knows, they don't actually know themselves, and it puts them off feeding the dog certain things, and then their dogs have dietary issues and they have the shits and they say, oh, you can only eat this now. Well, actually, if you just gave them a natural raw diet, you'd actually find that most dogs are much healthier and they have shinier, softer coats and everything. Healthier teeth. Yeah. Everything really, because at the end of the day, kibble's been processed and wet food is just full of sugar and shit, really, isn't it? And these can't really have tins. Well, she can, and probably him, although I've never really tried him on a tin other than tuna. I don't know if it's a mercury or something in the tins, but she has blood in her poo if she has tin dog food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll steer clear from it. Don't know what it is, but it causes us to have like diarrhea with blood in it, so I just don't give it tins at all now.
So what would you say that what percentage would you say of the diet is meat then? Just meat?
Like, if I wasn't including the meat content in the kibble, because I'm not 100% sure what that is, only because I don't get a normal kibble, I get dog muesli, which has obviously got bits of oats and bits of veg, and I don't even know, it looks like hamster stuff a little bit, you know, like when you get them flakes of green or flakes of yellow.
Yeah.
It's like that. So I'm not sure what the protein content is there, or the meat content, but I'm sure it's at least 70%.
Okay, that's pretty good then.
Yeah. But I get half of each meal they have is just raw mince.
Yeah.
And they eat like chicken feet. They literally anything. Hooves. I have to take them off them for the podcast, don't I?
Yeah,
and they just antlers. Yeah. So yeah, they eat a lot of raw stuff, which is probably why they're really healthy dogs and they've got great teeth and good temperaments. Yeah. They say, oh, what you eat? Well, these dogs eat brilliantly, better than me and Benito half the time. It's like more of a priority to make sure they've got their mints and kibble and things stocked up.
Well, they can't get the food when they want, can they? So...
Well, I don't know about her, because she's a little hunter, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen her kill rats many a times. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, no, they wouldn't source food themselves. They're not like Mojo, the cat.
Have you seen that thing where they're like, if your kid keeps its arm out and holds it out, then that means it's asleep? We'll see if they're the same. Oh, you're joking! We knew you weren't asleep. You fell for it.
Yeah, sometimes he falls asleep with his arms in the air, sometimes dead straight, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. But he's the only one who needs training at the moment. Because they don't need a lead. The brilliant, Recall's fantastic. And they're just perfect dogs. They're road safe, they know what cars are. But he's another kettle of fish. But I have only had him for 7.5 weeks. So he's still learning. And I can let him off the lead and he does stay around, but he doesn't understand that not all dogs want to say hello. Not all dogs are friendly, so we can't let him off every walk because he doesn't run where the dog's age is away. It's say from here to the door, so say like 20 foot. When they're 20 foot away, he'll charge towards them. And obviously a big black dog as well. People are scared. So they shit themselves, so you have to be careful of that as well, even though he's the biggest softie in the world. Wouldn't hurt a fly, but people don't know that, do they, when he's flying towards
he's barking as well.
Yeah, because he's got a very deep, strong bark. Although he doesn't bark on a walk, because he's entertained and distracted. He only barks at visitors, and like he's fine with power tools. It's really strange what he's fine with and what he's not. It's just men approaching him that he's frightened of. Everything else is pretty brave. Yeah. So, yeah. But he's a good boy generally.
What did they say that he went through then? What was...
Well, I don't know if I believe the sob story, because they did say that he was hung by butcher's hooks and by hunters and fed glass to try and force him into being a good hunting dog. Sorry about that, guys. Just had a DPD delivery. But yeah, so they said stuff about him being hung by the butcher's hooks and the glass shards, being fed glass shards and things to make him a better hunting dog. But the reason I don't believe it is because why wouldn't you breed a purebred? Like just a pointer or just a hound? I'm not sure what type of hound he is.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you just breed a purebred? Why would you breed two together? I don't think you would. So I think he was a street dog. Yeah. And the reason he's frightened of men isn't because of the background he has of being abused by hunters. I think it's because in Cyprus, it's men who tend to run the takeaways, restaurants, cafes, and just businesses in general, I guess. And when he's been scavenging round their customers, begging off them,
it's like shop owners like shooing him.
Yeah. Probably kick him or whatever.
What's he doing?
I have no idea.
He wants to like sit on you. You're not small, mate.
You're not small. You think you're small. You're not. There you go. That's it. There you go. So I don't believe that his little sob story, but I'll never know really.
Yeah.
It's one of them things, but I just have my own theories, and with me he's perfect. I don't know why he does this. He like sucking on my hand like a dummy. But yeah, with me he's quite clingy, he's really affectionate. But then with Benito, he only gives him the love on a walk. He won't give him that attention and love that he gives to me when we're in the house. He's just frightened all the time, and he's fine when you sat down, but as soon as the bloke stands up, he's barking and growling, and I am training it, and every time people visit, you know, they say he's way better and he doesn't bark and growl as much and he's a bit more, he'll try and approach people a bit more.
Yeah.
So he's definitely getting there, and it's just about training him, but obviously I've always been dog obsessed, so I believe I can do it. And I've had pointers before, and obviously Weimaranas. Misty, I rescued her when she was 11 months, and obviously she had to get put down when she was 11 and a half during lockdown in 2020. And
well,
that was
normal
sad times.
For big dogs,
Yeah, she had a great life, and you know, she was obviously I showed signs of old age, but it just went dead downhill. Within 3 days she was throwing up blood and it was like black, and unfortunately she had to get put down because they said she won't live past a week, and it was COVID. They couldn't really do a proper investigation into what was up with her, and they just thought it must have been bursting stomach ulcers or something's burst in her stomach, and because of her age she probably would have died going under the anaesthetic as well. So unfortunately we had to put her down, but she had a great life, lived a long, healthy and happy life, and she was the best around babies. She was like Nanny off Peter Pan. Absolutely brilliant around kids and babies, even though she was the size of a small horse. And yeah, she, again, a very clingy dog, very stubborn dog, and 14-year-old Yaz, who was hormonal, had to train. I used to lose my temper so much. It was so stressful. But I tell you what, she was a brilliant dog, and you can't really fault her when you look back. Like, she really was ace, and her whole like mission in life was just to protect the family and make sure everyone was safe and all right. So yeah.
This is such a dramatic shot of Suki. I just realised.
She's so sweet.
It's the chosen one.
Yeah, so it's weird because she's, you know, butter wouldn't melt with Suki, yet she's the only animal I've had that's killed things. Not animal, dog I've had that's killed things.
Yeah.
And she's the only dog I've ever had that's bit people.
Oh.
Yeah. Usually like workers who are on the property. And she doesn't know them, and you know, when they're working outside, not inside the house, and she thinks they're just trespassing. Misty cornered someone when she was still alive because some teenager like jumped over the garden wall and ran across the lawn, and Misty bolted it out and just cornered him, and had this like 15-year-old terrified, shaking in his tracksuit. So yeah, I mean, if it was her who'd caught him, fucking hell, I might be missing a face, but because she really will defend. She won't just corner you and, you know, threaten you. She'll follow it through if she feels threatened. But if people are jumping over your wall into your property anyway, more fool them.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of dogs I've got, and then my mum's got I think he's 47 kilos now. That's the slimmest he's ever been. Massive Doberman. And obviously he's not amazing with everyone and every dog. So he picks and chooses. Loves these two. He's currently getting to know Loki. He's a bit unsure. But obviously then he's attacked my stepsister and he's attacked my auntie, and it's totally unprovoked. Something gets in his head and that's it. But he is half Serbian, so is it in the breed? Who knows?
Well, there's more protection job, isn't it? And don't you have to give some dogs jobs, like?
Yeah, a lot of dogs are working dogs. Like,
yeah.
The reason that my collie doesn't destroy the house is because I give her a lot of mental stimulation and a lot of physical stimulation.
Yeah.
So I knock her out so that she doesn't need to work. And one of my friends is a cow farmer, and me and my ex-partner, when we had her, we used to live with him, and he used to say, oh, why don't we just let Alex take her and train her up and she can be a cow herding dog, like his other dog is. But my ex at the time was like, no, because we were, you know, planned to stay together at the time, of course. We were like, oh, we'll end up moving away, and then she won't have a job, and then she might be depressed because she feels like she's got no purpose. So we never ended up doing it with her. But obviously I'll take her to the agility things, and she's just brilliant. She loves it, and just make sure she's just knackered from mental and physical activities, really. And now we've got him. They play fight loads. She only play fights on a walk, but he'll play fight in the garden and in the house. And like when we started the podcast and we had the ball in the picture, they're very playful dogs, whereas she's the opposite. She just wants to chill at home and then go mental on her walks, doesn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't really play, does she? And that's I think that's probably why I like Suki, because it doesn't matter. Yeah,
she just wants your love. She doesn't want your attention. In a
like,
way.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, that's why. If I was to have a cat, I'd have a big Maine Coon called James.
Yeah.
And he'd be my giant peach.
Yeah. So Mojo, the cat, is not actually in the house at the minute, so can't show you guys, unfortunately. He's lovely. But we only had him in August 2023 when we got back from travelling. Yeah. Because he was a stray that was just living in my mate's garden, and she would have loved to have him. She was feeding him. She did obviously stop feeding him for a while because she thought maybe he's only coming here because I'm feeding him, but no, he just went skinny and malnourished. But her cats that she already has wouldn't get on with him, so that's why me and Benito ended up having him. And then these two, they'd never lived with a cat before. She's obviously very prey driven, but but they're absolutely brilliant, and they never did anything. And when we had the nestling that we raised into a little, young blackbird and let it fly the nest, these two, as much as they would have loved to have it for breakfast, some warm piece of chicken in their mind, they never once touched it because they knew. They're just so obedient, so well behaved. And that's something else I'll have to do a separate YouTube video on, because we're coming up to spring again, so people will know what to do then if they find a nestling. How to raise them, what to feed them, which was complete guesswork for me, but we managed to do it, so... Yeah, although now if it happened, I have to be very careful, because Mojo would just want to kill it. The day we got him, we didn't even know we had pigeons living in a tree. Went up and killed them both, dragged them both down from the nest. I thought, bloody hell.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then he retrieved a squirrel's tail to me, and I know he hasn't killed a squirrel. Absolute no chance. And eating it, no chance. But I know Mojo's capable of killing a squirrel, and I bet he's killed it, dragged it in a bush somewhere, and then he's come and brought me a present months later. Yeah, so, but they are brilliant, animals are. I'm just obsessed with them.
So what's going to be the next pet then, Yaz?
Benito wants a bloody goat when we buy a
Oh
house.
yeah, the goat!
yeah, that's his favourite animal, so he wants a goat. I don't know if he wants one of them pygmy little ones or what. They look like a better size and more manageable, but I don't know if they actually are, or if that's just what you think, because I'm pretty sure...
you have to put pool noodles on there.
Headbutt everything.
Yeah.
I feel like the ones that are closer to a donkey size, like the bigger ones, are a bit more friendly though. So what would you do? Do you get the bigger type of goat, or do you get the little mental one? And should you... The other thing is, I'm really funny about having an animal in one. Like, I always think they should be in pairs so they have company. Obviously, with cats, they're very independent, and Mojo's got these for company. But he likes going off and doing his own thing, but I always think dogs should have...
The girl will be in its area, and then the red's when you take it for walks or whatever.
Yeah. So, I don't know, like, would we have to get two? I would like a donkey one day, like a little retired donkey or something, because I just think they're dead cute.
Do you think with like donkeys and like goats and things like that, do you think you could ever have them around your children on your own though, animals like that?
I don't know. I don't think you should, if you have kids, leave them with any animal, because you just never know. Like with these are brilliant. Obviously with your daughter, I know he hasn't met her yet, but these two, brilliant. Trust them wholeheartedly, completely. Yeah. But if it was my children, the jealousy levels, would they attack the kids to get them out the picture because they want to be number one and there's a new number one that's coming?
I don't know.
Because dogs are like that. Like with him, you put him in his place, don't they? So he knows he's at the bottom. Yeah. Would they try and do that to a kid?
Or would they make the kid number one instead of you? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, when you see like on Marley and Me and things, when the dog...
Yeah, but then what about nanny dogs though? They're protective of kids though.
They've grown up with them though, haven't they? If they've grown up with them, then yeah. But these are all... Well, he's still pup. These two are adult dogs. Like, she's 8.5. She's going on for... Well, she's 6.5, so going on for 7. She ain't quite there yet, but...
Yeah.
They're grown up. They've, had half the life without the kids, so they're not going to be like, they're my new owner. They're who I should listen to now. Because they've not been in the life for most of it. They don't know maybe they do know they've come out your stomach, and they might have similar smells to how the baby smelled in the womb, because obviously their sense of smell is a lot stronger than ours.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you've brought an alien home that screams, smells weird. It's literally, in some cases, feeding off you, like attacking you in some dogs' minds. So no, why would they? And then when they get to toddler age, when kids pull dogs' tails, that can dislocate the spine, and then you telling your dog off for nipping its hand. No, teach your kid, don't pull its tail.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily the dog being careful around the kid, it's the kid being careful around the dog.
Yeah. She's not good with kids generally. She's good with Maisie because she's grown up with Maisie.
Yeah.
They're similar ages. She's grown up with Maisie.
Mm.
But other kids, she's gone for kids before because they've cornered her and, you know, made her feel vulnerable and frightened. So I don't know if I'd trust her around my own kids. The only dog I would have trusted around my own kid is Misty. Yeah. She's the only one I could have thought, yeah, I'll go upstairs for 5 minutes, you'll be alright. But these, as brilliant as they are, because how much they dote and adore me, why the fuck would they want to share that attention? When they've had me to themselves all their life.
Yeah. It's just weird, you can never think of your dogs as, you know what I mean, as more than a dog, unfortunately. Obviously you love your dogs, but
you still got to know that they are dogs at the end of the day. As much as we treat them like babies, they're not babies. They've still got the mentality.
On the most part with most dogs, because obviously there's outliers with anything, and if you have like dead strict training and things like that, I guess dogs can. But for casual pets, dog owners and stuff, it's you can still react as if they were.
Yeah. That's why I always think with families, just get a Labrador. Adopt a 4-year-old Labrador that's gone past its mental stage. It just wants a loving home, loving family, and it'll protect you. You'll have a great time. Recall, brilliant. That's why they tend to use.
It was like blind dogs and stuff like that.
Guide dogs. But then your more hyperactive working dogs like collies and spaniels, they are put in actual jobs, aren't they? And you need a lot more. When Lotus was a puppy, she used to nip my little sister all the time, not aggressively, because collies are naturally ankle nippers. That's what they do to herd things, nip their ankles. And I had to train her out of that because my little sister, bless her, she flinched. She was about 8 or 9 at the time. And I said, don't you dare ever flinch from a dog like that. Never let a dog think that it can defeat you. Because at the end of the day, a dog will always try and climb the chain as much as it can. If you let a dog bark at you from the top of the stairs, you're an absolute fool. Because a dog should never be physically higher than you and barking at you. They're just trying to get above you in the pecking order. That's just how dogs think. That's how they are. These would never try past me because I'm good at training dogs and they don't need to.
Yeah, but if you let them get away with more stuff, it just naturally
And with kids, they do it. They'll sit on a kid, sit on a lap. Oh, ain't that cute? No. They're sitting on your kid, not to be cute, to be dominant. Like, people's minds, mind frames, when it comes to dogs, I think they just go, oh, cute. But really, they need to have the wits about them a lot more, because a dog's still a dog at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have them. And, you know, they are hard to train. They can be hard to train. And a lot of people don't let the dog off a lead because you can't trust it. And a lot of people breed anxieties into their own pets. So, like, when they see another dog on the walk and they pick it up, you're making your dog scared of other dogs by doing that. You shouldn't do that. People do some wild things. Like, they say you shouldn't feed a dog before you, because it's showing that their meal is more important than yours. And then that normally when people feed the dogs first, they're the people who the dogs will beg off. Because who do you think you are eating your food? I'm more important than you. I get fed before you, so it shows I'm more important. And that's the mind, that's how dogs think. Obviously I've always grown up with dogs. I know loads about them, researched them as a kid. I was a bit of a weirdo. Used to want to be a vet, worked in different vet practices. Turns out that I couldn't be a vet because it's just dead sad if like an animal has to be put down or...
Don't you like that part of it now?
No. And also, I've got more and more squeamish as I've got older, and like the neutering, dead easy, barely any blood, fine. The procedure is that quick, it takes longer to wash your hands and put on the PPE than it does do surgery. What a dentist job, removing rotten teeth, oh the blood, it's vile, and you see it because obviously the dog's put under anaesthetic. They're just getting the face covered in blood from all the, it's just vile, like pouring, and yeah, I thought, oh god, that's making me feel funny. Or like, I've never, you know, watched any operations on the eyes, but I used to think, imagine if they got something stuck in their eye and you've got to remove something from their eye, or remove the eye itself, or those sort of things just go through me like I couldn't imagine. So basically, neutering, the thing that vets tend to do the most because of routine operation, that's the easiest job. Like I say, hardly any blood, and that's the only one I would have been fully comfortable doing. Really.
So out of all the jobs, just that one bit.
Yeah, and I trained from a kid all the way up to my A-levels to be a vet. And then somebody said to me when I was volunteering at one of the vet practices, somebody who'd just come in as a junior vet, they said, oh, you know, if you want to be a vet, you're going to have to go to farms and zoos and have lots of different experience in different fields. I was like, yeah, that's fine. They were like, yeah, but I bet you don't know how to deal with a cow stillbirth. Bearing in mind, I was 15 at the time, right? 15 on work experience. I said, no, how would you deal with a cow stillbirth? He says, what you do is you get a scythe, you shove it up the cow, and you rip the dead calf into chunks and just drag it out in pieces. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I can't do that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was only 15.
What, is that a thing? Did they have to actually do that? Why the fuck would you put a saw up a fanny? Come on, man. That's too much.
And drag it out in chunks, because obviously when you pull it, it just severs the...
I don't know, that's... maybe that is plausible. I don't know.
It could be like an extreme case. It could have just been a one-off, but obviously it sticks with you when you're a kid, done it, and this adult... who'd just gone in, he was like outraged now, telling me, who's half his age, this is what you're going to have to do, and me thinking, oh my god, can't do that, that's horrible, it's mortifying, like, I don't want to do that. I mean, yeah, it's just lived with me ever since, and I thought, like, I ended up obviously going into journalism, because I'm just good at talking, good at speaking to people, and I like... you know, sharing people's stories or whatever, so that's why I went into journalism. But yeah, because of my obsession with animals, until I was sort of 17, 18, I was always dead set on becoming a vet. Yeah, nearly went into dog handling in the police, but
that was a very cool job though.
Yeah. But also, obviously, dog's your responsibility, so I felt a bit tight if I brought a dog home and that dog's going work with me and everything, and these two are like, ooh, we've been here longer, why are we here? Why are we here to do it? Yeah, especially here, so yeah, decided against that one. Yeah. What about you? So do you have anything to add about pets?
Just trying to think. If I'm on about like probably a history of my pets, it was just one cat that we had, and it was and it wasn't really ours. It was just like a stray cat that came, and then it ended up coming in the house, and then we were feeding it. And it just chilled every now and then, and we called it Sexies. But it was like a bit, and we absolutely loved it and everything. It was dead nice. And then one day, my dad opened the door, and there was Sexies lying right there, and like stiff as a cardboard like that. And then my dad was like, "Fucking hell, what's this? What's this?" And then my mum's like, oh. And then my mum's like, you're going to have to, wow, what should we do? And then my mum's like, we'll have to bury it. We'll have to bury the cat. And then what me and my sister like proper gutted, probably like 10, 11 at the time, maybe, I don't know, maybe younger, I'm not sure. And then my dad was digging a hole in the garden, and we were all looking in the window, through the window. And he didn't dig the hole deep enough. And he's like wrapped in a plastic bin bag, and this is like horrific as a kid. And it's like you can see the bit of the black bin bag's just peeking over. And then my dad's asking like, Mum, what should I do? And then my mum's like, I don't know. So then my dad gets the shovel, and rather than digging the hole deeper, he just gets the shovel and he just goes boom, 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 and like muffling this cat into the hole so it fits in. And then me and my sister are like, oh no! And then my mum's like laughing because she's like, what the hell? And and then my dad just put soil on top of it, and then that's it. But so we had that cat for probably like 3 months, and then he ended up being dead at the doorstep. But yeah, that's it really. My dad would love a little Jack Russell though. Like he'd like a little Jack Russell called Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something simple in it.
Yeah. You can get loads of them from city dogs now.
Yeah. And then my mum, she used to have what are they called now? The blue hairs, short blue hair cats. I don't know.
British blue, short hair or something.
Yeah.
And grey ones that are really pretty.
Yeah. And then she used to have one called Amy, and it was like dead nice, and it was like really like proper thick grey hair and everything. And it just used to want to spend its time inside. But yeah, that was it really. But yeah, that's all my history with pets, and then I'm going to clone this one day, because everybody loves a Suki.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it for this podcast, guys. Any audio listeners, give it a watch on YouTube, because there's 3 beautiful dogs here that obviously you won't be able to see unless you pop over to YouTube. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'll drop some links to rescues in the description, especially the one that this boy is from, in case anybody's thinking of adopting a stray from abroad. And yeah, see you next week. Bye.
See.